What's going on, boys? My name is Sid, and they made a bunch of changes with the new Hoonigan update. And some of those are good, and some of those are quite bad. So I thought I would go in and talk about the different changes that they've added in a few of my things that I really like, things that I really don't like, that they've changed about Motorfest. You boys enjoyed this video style of lists like Yuwan Thayakaran does on Forza Horizon, so I thought of course I'll come back and give you guys another one in the Hoonigan update, because there's a bunch of new details that they changed, some for the better and some for the worse. And well, now we're in the Hoonicorn. I will remind you to head down there, subscribe, it'd be very much appreciated. And if you want to catch my live streams, subscribe with notifications on as well. But, you know, sub if you want to. It'd just be appreciated. Let's get to 100k, boys. But this is the Ford Mustang Summit, or rather, Hoonigan branded Hoonicorn in the Crew Motorfest, and it actually shows one of the pretty interesting things in the game. See, because they have gearing animations where your hands actually go over to the gear and then they move when you gear. But the Hoonigan cars have something a bit cooler, because the first one is yes, handbrake animations. As you saw right there, you actually hit the handbrake when you handbrake, and it makes for some very cool looking shots. You actually see me handbrake to get up on the grind rail like that. Didn't see it? Well, I'll show you it again. Just like that. You can initiate drifts by actually handbraking with the physical handbrake. Look at this. Handbrake again. Sweet. Then we go down this way, and then we can handbrake to do a quick 360 entry. That was okay. If I didn't crash there at the end, that was sick. We went around this, did I don't know what filter's on this, it's a very weird filter. We went around that, went through the precision there, we managed to hit this grind rail perfectly with the handbrake animation, run through here, and then we did a clean 360 entry. That was crazy. What other cars have this cool animation though? Well, the e-tron in touring or racing has the same animation because of course it has the same stick there. So if I slam the handbrake, you can see it uses it. But there's something that we already come into the negative for this, and it's so annoying. So I'll come back to it. Because first, the positive is that it's not just the Hoonigan cars that this is available on. Because there's also cars from Mr. Christopher Forsberg, which also feature the exact same handbrake animation, but with the other handbrake. I mean, you can see we're actually... Wait, does it move the gear stick? Oh, wow. Okay, I've never seen that before. This car actually moves the gear stick instead of just moving the hands. Because normally cars will just move your hands instead of moving the gear. That's new. And then you can see if I come up here and I then handbrake, the animation is there. So it's not just the Hoonigan cars, but then from that positive, we go negative still. Because the Hoonatron in Drift is actually broken in a way. Because there's the gear shifter, like it is in the racing version. And let's just do it with our mind, I guess. Yup. We can handbrake with our mind. And the other thing is cars that it really should work on. Because you can see we're moving, the gears move here like they should do. Unlike the Forsberg, you can see that only our hands move like they do in most cars, like that. There we go. Instead of the actual gear shifter moving. But not only that, the handbrake animation just doesn't exist. I'm handbraking right now. There's no... Who's falling from the sky in the background? The handbrake animation just doesn't exist in the DeLorean, which clearly should have it. I mean, it's a great drift car, but, you know, I'd rather have more fun by feeling the handbrake. So, Ivory Tower, not only would I love this very cool idea of a handbrake animation in all the cars that it should be on, but I'd also love cars that don't have the big stick handbrakes, to at least make your hand go down somewhere when you're handbraking, right? Like, again, what am I, handbraking with my mind here? And the next thing on the list of very good details that they finally changed, we got the go. Now, it shouldn't really take me long at all to show you what I mean, and you should really already know what I mean, because you will have seen them before. You will have known of them, and they will have jump scared you many, many times when you're just trying to cruise around. Oh, there we go. Hoonigan car. But there goes a Jesco. There should be a Gentle Dieci unless he's losing that bad. And essentially, replayers were different types of races in the game being done without you being there, right? Not in the race. So it sort of gave an atmosphere of, oh, look, the festival's going on, and it's not just about you. It's, you know, people are doing big races, even without you. And those are finally able to be turned off. I'm glad they listened about that one, and I'm glad they didn't just go, haha, lol, no, we're not letting you turn replayers off. Oh, there goes. Okay, yep, there went there was a Lamborghini there. Oh, there goes someone else. Let me try and actually chase these guys. Can I see where these guys are going? They're going very quick wherever they're going. Oh, and they're gone. Damn. Well, you can now turn those off in the pause menu, in game settings, and down here as replayers. Now, when I say they didn't just say lol, no, and didn't change these, well, that's when it comes to the negative that I want to talk about. And that is oh, this is a terrible example. Well, Ivory Tower had the brilliant idea of keeping traffic on in both slalom, skills, speed traps, any kind of skill in the game. Traffic is still on. People asked for it, and it wasn't just that they haven't done it, and I'm sat here like, why haven't you done it, Ivory Tower? They actively said that they are not going to be switching off traffic in the summit because it adds to the live service aspect of the game. Ivory Tower, this is the competitive. Like, look, I understand not turning the traffic off for the free drive. Keep it on for free drive so that when you're just driving around and you go into a slalom or something, it doesn't just turn off the traffic or ghost it. But for stuff like the competitive, no one, not a single soul, wants traffic in escape slalom skills as a whole in feats. No one wants traffic in feats and the randomness, the unpredictability that they add. No one wants that in feats. For the same reason, we don't want our car to spontaneously combust into flames at any random given time when playing actual races. Because believe it or not, in the competitive scene, we prefer predictability. Now, if I'm just driving around, yes, I don't want to know where and when the traffic is. But if I'm in the summit contest, the only thing left that's competitive, PvP doesn't have rank anymore. For the competitive game mode in the game, we don't want unpredictability, we want predictability. We want no traffic in summits of any kind of feat. Please, Ivory Tower, reconsider that one. Because to just go, ha lol, no. Oh, well, actually, we want because live service. But that one just makes me so annoyed because it's such a bad reason. It's just not a good reason because it's the competitive. I thought that when they said it first, I was like, oh, they must mean overall they're not going to do it and the summit happens to be part of that. But no, they said we're not turning it off in the summit because of the fact that it's whatever. God, I need to cool off. But you know what? While I go and cool off, I thought, why don't I bring in a special guest for this Hoonigan Early Access video? And seeming as this is his style of video on Forza, I thought, why not bring him into Motorfest and get him in for a collab? So while I just get so much more annoyed, welcome, Yuwan Thayakaran.
Hello, it is I. Anyways, in the Crew Motorfest, we have Backfire animations. I mean, look at that. I mean, you can hear the backfire, you can see the backfire. Now, you might be thinking, oh, this is very normal. But actually, this is not that normal because during the early stages of the game, like near the time that it launched, we used to hear the backfire, but we never used to see it. I mean, take a look at this footage with the Dodge Charger. Yep, you can hear it, but where is the Backfire to be seen? It is nowhere. So yeah, man, thankfully Ubisoft actually updated the Backfire so we can genuinely see it. So thank you very much, Ubisoft, for doing that. Because before, yeah, when we heard the Backfire but we didn't see it, that was embarrassing. Like, how dare you? Now, staying on topic with the Backfire, although they have fixed the animation, the sound of the Backfire is still sort of like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's realistic sounding, but it doesn't make you feel anything. It's just like a bang. But in the Crew 2, yeah, the Backfire really stood out. I mean, when you downshift, you didn't hear a bang, you heard a bang, like, oh my days, it sounded like a gunshot, man. Okay, now yes, I know this is very exaggerated. I mean, Backfire rarely sounds like this in real life, but it's such an aggressive sound. And for an arcade racing game, I feel like we really need, like, exaggerated bangs and pops. Because come on, this isn't a very realistic game. I mean, you can't just switch from a car to a plane in a second. So yeah, man, although Motorfest is a way better sounding game than the Crew 2, I really wish that these pops and bangs can return because it just sounded so cool. Oh my days, that is how Backfire should sound like.
Thank you, Yuwan, thank you. If you did actually transition to me in any way, I'm gonna hope he did, because I've said thank you now, and if he didn't do like a passing it back over to me, it's just gonna look embarrassing if I say thank you. But the next thing on the list is, of course, something a bit interesting. It's Yes, filters. Why have I got a whole section on filters? Well, it's because they've done some kind of good. You might know that the map is pretty damn cluttered at the moment. Even when you're in stylish cars like this, this thing is, you know what, this thing, I quite like it. It may be a bronze summit car, but it's pretty damn good. Speaking of good, you can now finally actually put filters on the map. So say there's all these things here. I can go into filters with RB, and I can, the Crew 2. Essentially, they just kind of added the Crew 2 again. I mean, this way you can look through specific events that have constrained, and then we got different playlists. We can filter by the exact playlist, so we only have the events for that playlist. Then we've got stuff like status completed, that's everything. Vehicle category, we can see, in fact, it specifically exposes the fact that Street 1's only got 14, 36 in Street 2, Drift only has 16, only 2 drag events, 5 Alpha GP, 3 motocross events, only 2 rally events. I could have sworn there was more of those, 1 monster, and then 5 of 5. It does expose that. I mean, that's a bit of a negative. Add more events, man. We can do feats and filter by the specific type as well. Bullseye, buoy smashing, aerobatic, speed traps. We can go status completed and status available. And then we can even do containers. Well, I guess there's nothing more left to filter. But when you go onto containers, it will only show you containers. PvP, which of course only shows the 2 PvP things. I've got a waypoint set to this, which is why that's on the map. There we go. And then if you really wanted to look at the map completely empty, you can even do hide all, which is a brand new feature to Motorfest, which allows you to just look at the map, just raw. You can raw dog the map. It's quite nice, honestly. It's quite peaceful. I will say though, I would love an option to turn these off. And anything festival related, I want to be able to turn these off. All of these things, the festival stuff. Not just there either. I'd love to be able to actually turn the ones on every event, because when there's more and more playlists, I don't want to have to see this whole flags and balloons every 2 miles. Huh, did you know going up slightly and then coming back down will reset all the traffic? I wonder if that's exploitable in any way. But then they finally also, speaking of filters, have added filters in the liveries. And then we get a negative. If this was the live game where people have, and not the early access, thank you to Ubisoft, then I would be able to actually filter through the different ones in the top 100. Here's the issue, Ivory Tower didn't bother doing the same thing for the exclusive liveries. So I can put on any filter and it won't actually filter me through anything in the official liveries, which there's a lot of them, and a lot of them are quite nice. And if I want to go with any of the racing ones, I have to scroll and then wait, and then scroll and then wait, and then, okay, yeah, we're finally at the racing ones, okay, and I gotta wait. I'm on a PC, by the way, so, you know, on an SSD, so it's good to see that this is taking so long to load. why is this so chrome? This is a very shiny car. But they just, like, look, they're great. Filters great when there's the top 100. But why didn't you add them to the exclusive liveries, Ivory Tower? So yes, this one also comes with a negative, which is itself. And then we go to one of the absolute best changes they've ever made. And again, it's just one brought over from the crew too. It's finally being able to... What it does is when you click it, it will filter to only cars that have swappable parts. So these parts that I have right now, I can swap them to anything. But if I grab a car without any parts on it, it will only let me select from cars that do have parts on them, so I can bring them over. And I mean, look, is it just a copied over crew feature? Sure. Have they made some tweaks which are, like, appreciated? Sure. Should it have been in the game from launch? Yes. But am I happy I have it now? Sure. I mean, it's really small. It's a small thing as far as substance-wise, but it really is one of the best things they've done. And to finish off, I think I've left the absolute best along with probably one of the worst things. And that begins with someone's old friend. Your old friend, actually. And I say old because you already tried your best to switch her off. In fact, you went in and turned off all voices, which was annoying because now the cutscenes, no one's talking, and, you know, maybe you actually do enjoy listening to the voice lines as long as they're not from her. Because in the actual playlist, people talk and it's fine. But she just always wants to tell you about how Porsche was manufactured in Stuttgart, Germany. But now, finally, you can specifically turn off Cara in the menu. Specifically her guidance, her playlist introductions. Does she bark? Cara woofs? Enable or disable all of Cara's bark voice lines. Rewind. Oh, like, you know, when she's like rewinding. Let's try that one again. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Mulligan. Those annoying ones. Okay, she doesn't just go, oh, that makes more sense. And this way, we get absolutely no sound, not a peep from Cara. A change I know a lot of you are very happy about. And I said that was paired up with one of the worst. Well, speaking of the lol no that they did with the summit skill feat traffic, well, they kind of did a sort of no. They said that in the open world is a tech limitation, and that's completely fair. But what they said with that was they're never gonna, well, not never, I'm overreacting. They're not working on adding crossplay in the open world currently. Because yes, you can crossplay in PvP, you can crossplay in Demo Royale, the lobbies in the summit and the leaderboards in the summit is what I mean. Those are crossplay, same with the leaderboards in events and the liveries. They're all crossplay. But one issue, the game isn't. You can't invite your friends from other platforms into your crew. You can't invite or see your friends on the leaderboards if they're on a different platform. It's all only in the PvP. And they've confirmed that it's only ever going to be in the PvP. At least for now, until they decide they will work on it. And I don't know if you boys know this, the reason that is because the crew Motorfest still does peer-to-peer, meaning you connect to someone else in the lobby, and sometimes one person in the lobby, being you, is who everyone else is connected to. So everyone's always connected to someone in the lobby, in the open world. But Grand Race, Demo Royale, and the place where all the liveries and the server for leaderboards is, those are actual servers now, instead of being peer-to-peer. So that's why they're cross-platform. Everyone's connecting to a server instead of connecting to other people on your platform. And honestly, that one bogs me down a fair bit. But those were all of the positives and the negatives I could think of for the crew Motorfest in the brand new Hoonigan update. Thank you to popular members, especially thanks to famous members, and I didn't say thank you to star members Danimal, the Manimal, Grim Pepper, and HK, the Icon member HK. And an insane thank you to you and Thayakaran for featuring in the video. I'll see you boys in the next one. That's about it from me. In a bit.